Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Danny Brown, the head football coach at South Christian. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. We're getting through the thick of camp, so we're ready to embark on the first week of the season.
Yeah, of course, week one begins for all high school teams next week. Most games are on Thursday, some are on Friday, some even on Saturday. I know some states are going this week. So, but what has it been like these last few weeks for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like any other camp. I mean, you're starting from the ground up, so you got to focus on the fundamentals and the things that help make teams successful. So, I mean, we really stress that in our program, so we spend a lot of time on that, and then you kind of just slowly evolve as the days go on, and you feel like the team can. You don't want to load them too much because then they're not playing fast. So it's kind of just been figuring out, and you spend the first 2 weeks trying to figure out your team. You know, what are they good at? What gets them to go? What gets them to gel? So there's been a lot of that, and obviously a lot of football, film, weightlifting. I mean, it's a lot for the kids, but that's what camp's supposed to be about.
Okay, so really kind of just talk about the guys that are going to be returning for you, and then some of the guys to watch this year. So we'll start with the offense, then go to the defense.
Yeah, so we return our quarterback Carson Biss, who started for us last year and was a receiver for us. Started sophomore year. He was an all-state kid last year, so we're expecting big things out of him. Not just statistically in that, but really taking on that leadership role and making this his offense. We're gonna we're gonna go with how he goes. So he's gonna be a big part of what we do, and we really need him to be a really, really good leader for us. So we're leaning into that. And then we returned our center from last year, Cameron Beltman. So it's good that we got, kind of the operation piece of our offense is intact. And then outside of that, we're replacing everybody else. So we got some young guys and some seniors that, played role positions last year at receiver that are going to be starting for us this year. So we expect some good things out of them. And then we got Tyler Brinks, who started for us defensively last year. And we didn't really utilize him much on offense, and he'll be a tight end for us. And he's special, great hands, big target, 6'6", runs well. So we're going to need him to not just catch the ball, but also block and do some things physically for us. So and then we got a couple under Owen Burgess. He's got the tall task of replacing what Jake Vermaas did, playing that position that Jake Vermaas did for us last year. Who had a crazy year last year. So we're going to look a little different as far as, Jake was such a dynamic player. But I think we got a few other weapons, that maybe we spread the ball around a little bit more than we did last year, and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to the defense now.
Yeah, so defensively, our two inside linebackers started for us last year. If they weren't injured, they were starting. So, we kind of got some uniformity there, guys that have been in the fire. And then up front, we're bringing back all new guys up front. So, that's kind of a question mark of, who steps up, who's ready to handle the load. And we do a really good job of rotating those guys, but obviously you got to kind of have some staples when, you need to stop the run and do what you got to do. So, and then we get Ty Brinks back, who started for us all last year and had some really big moments in the playoffs as we made that run. He's just, with his length, his speed and his size, he can do a lot of things. So he's going to have to be good for us defensively for us to be who we want to be defensively. And then our backfield, two seniors will be out there, two juniors, guys that are pretty athletic, just don't have a ton of playing experience as far as, in the fire of it all, but you know, you just hope that it's no different than the other year, your guys, the two seniors, you know, one started for us as a sophomore, Charlie Hahn. And then he got hurt, so he wasn't able to play last year. Now he's back, you know, so he had a year off, but he's had some varsity experience. So you just hope that he can step up and be the guy, and kind of lead from the back end. And then another senior that, you know, just kind of was a role player last year and is going to have to take some meaningful steps. But you always need that. You need your seniors that were role players as juniors to be the guys your senior year to have a good season. So we're going to rely on a lot of those guys.
Yeah. Special teams, what's that going to look like?
Yeah, you know, we haven't dove too much into it. You know, we've done a little bit. We kind of spot do it, and then we really dive into it the week leading up to the first game. So I think we'll have a couple of those playmakers in the back, you know, on a kick return. And, you know, I don't think we're actually gonna have a little smaller size on the kick return team, try to utilize some of the speed and tenacity of some of these guys. So that's a little bit of a change for us. And then we got a kicker. Our kicker, Wyatt Saul, is a soccer player, first year kicker for us. We've kind of been fortunate enough the last few years to have some guys on the soccer team, and their coach is great to allow them to, you know, as long as it doesn't interfere with soccer, to kick for us. So he's got a pretty big leg, big guy. Kind of looks like a football player, to be honest with you. But so we'll expect some big things out of him, and hopefully he can kick the ball in the end zone, because that's the one thing that makes my life a lot easier on a game night. If the ball ends in the end zone on a kickoff, I am happy.
All right. Well, we've talked about all the kids. Now let's talk about the schedule. Of course, everyone knows the OK conference has gone through a few changes. Of course, the OK Gold is the division that you're in this year. I kind of talk before I go through the schedule, because kind of talk about, did anything change, like division wise or team wise or anything like that for you?
Yeah, so I mean, our conference schedule completely flipped. So we don't play anybody that we've played in years past in the conference. So it's completely different. I mean, we're still in the OK Gold, which we have been for years. We just got a bunch of new members, and we happen to stay in the OK Gold. So that changed, and then you know, we always start with Christian High, so we have that start, and then we're actually going to play one of our opponents from the OK Gold. So completely different change, which is, it's fun and exciting. You know, you kind of you know, that's going to add a different element of prep and all that stuff, because we'll have some comfort level, because they're like Unity Christian, for instance, is in it. I mean, we've played them over the years, so like we have an idea of what they do, and you know, you kind of know the coaching staffs when you're in a conference for a while. But there's a couple of them, you know, we haven't coached against, so it'll be fun to figure out, you know, what makes them tick, and kind of the dynamics of their coaching and their teams.
All right. I'll just run through the schedule real quick. As you said, that first opening game, August 30th on next Friday, which is 1 week from now, against Grand Rapids Christian at home. And then September 6th at East Grand Rapids, September 13th at West Catholic, September 20th home against Wyoming, September 27th at Forest Hill Central, October 4th home against Zeeland East, October 11th at Hudsonville Unity Christian, October 18th home against Zeeland West, and finishing out the regular season, October 25th home against Grand Rapids Catholic Central. So new teams in the division, including a state champion in Division 3 last year, of course, being Forest Hill Central. And of course the two Zeelands. Every division in the OK is always one thing: very, very competitive.
Yeah, it definitely got really competitive. You know, a couple programs in there with a ton of tradition. I mean, Unity Christian's been really good the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, they've made a couple runs, won a state title. You know, obviously everybody knows John Schultz, a Hall of Famer, really good football program. And they had a team that went to the semifinals last year. You know, and then obviously Forest Hill Central won it in Division 2. So yeah, there's a ton of good football tradition, that's in the conference. And I think the one thing that's pretty neat is it's a ton of, you know, just as an outsider looking in their programs, really good football communities, you know. I think that's gonna create some fun atmospheres for the kids. I think that's part of this, right? I mean, it's fun to play football and play with your buddies and all that stuff, but it's fun to walk on a field, playing another team with good community support, and just kind of creating that cool environment for the kids because, you know, some of these guys are gonna do this 2 years and they're done and, you know, there's some pretty cool memories. So, just excited about obviously the competition of it, but excited about just the experience that, you know, not only us, but the other teams that we're playing are gonna have.
Yeah, for sure. And really just as we head into this first week, but you know, now that everything's kind of now the weeks of practice are over, what is you know, it's now heading into, you know, kind of some normalcy for the rest of the year. It's just, you know, get ready and then just kind of on a normal routine with the schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I love camp. I love the competitiveness of it, the grind of it all. I think you can learn a lot about your kids in those 2 weeks, but there's a lot of bullets flying. There's a lot of things going on, you know, so to get through those 2 weeks, you know, we're going to come in, we got practice today, but you know, Monday start that normal routine. The nice thing is now it like just everything lines up the same. I mean, there's, you know, every once in a while the kids are going to have a day off and you got to reschedule some things, but for the most part, the routine's the same. And you can kind of get in this rhythm of, you know, how you operate as the season goes. So that's definitely nice. You know, we had our scrimmage last night. You know, the biggest thing for us is you want to see some things. You want to see a different jersey. You want to compete. You know, it's good for the kids to finally play a different opponent. But the main thing is getting out of that thing healthy. And thankfully, us and Greenville, we scrimmage, we're both able to do that. So, you know, now we get to jump in film this afternoon and kind of do some critiquing and you know, there were some positives, but obviously we got a ton of things to work on and kind of go through those with the kids and do some drill work. And then, you know, it's on to Christian High. You know, we'll start that prep on Monday and get ready for the week, first football week. It'll be exciting. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. I'm excited for it. And it's fun week. Football is back and games start Thursday and Friday. So we are officially back next week.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a thing of beauty.
Absolutely. Danny, thank you so much for the time as always, and best of luck. Best of luck to you guys this season.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Casey.